Apolline, you leave tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for doing this with me. You're heading back to France.
Yeah.
Tell me, before we jump into your cold atmospheric plasma treatment story, I want to know about your TSW story. And I know nerves are probably high. You're getting on a plane for a 16-hour journey tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you're probably excited at the same time. You look awesome.
Thank you.
And I've enjoyed watching you in the clinic, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Tell us about your TSW story, please.
Okay, so I think as many people, I've started using steroids as a baby. I mean, I had like eczema from a very young age.
How old are you now?
27.
Baby, okay.
So I had eczema as a baby. I was prescribed steroids from a very young age. I followed the prescription as like most people did, and I had them like on and off for like 20 years. And my skin was like yeah, ups and downs. But around 2019, I started having these like worse and worse itch attacks like all over my body, and I noticed that steroids were not calming the itch anymore. It was not working. It was actually making it worse. When I applied, it would be even more itchy, and I was like, damn, something is wrong.
This was 2019.
Yes, it
and
was
we're into
2019.
2024 right now.
Yes.
So you've been going through this for a few years.
Yeah, so I completely quit steroids in October 2020. So it's been, I think, exactly 3 years and a half now. Yeah, can't believe it's been that long. So when I noticed that the steroids were not working, I went to a GP and I told them, and he was like, "Oh, it's just because you need stronger steroids," as many people have heard. And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna use stronger steroids. It's not gonna fix the problem." And I knew that steroids were not that good. I didn't know how bad they were.
I don't think any of us did.
Yes, because I had already started like a journey of trying to heal more naturally. Like I had stopped chemical moisturizers, like the petroleum-based ones, and I had switched to more natural, and I could see that actually was helping my skin better, but I was still using the steroids. And so in October, I was like, okay, I have no choice. I have to go like cold turkey, and so I just quit completely. I just marked today, like
What
October
happened?
2020, and then it went downhill, of course, like almost everybody felt like full body flare. I had like a burnout at the same time from like work at school and like the studies and everything, and so I was just like in such a mess, like
So you had TSW everywhere.
yeah, all over my body. It started like gradually. It's actually started with this area, like
Right.
funny thing, and it is like gradually spread like all over the body.
So
And yeah.
you stopped using the paraffin moisturizers. Did you have any kind of like rough texture at all?
So when I stopped using the paraffin moisturizers, I replaced it with like organic natural things.
Right.
And I could feel that my skin was actually needing less moisturizer by switching to natural.
Good.
Because the paraffin, it creates this like barrier which prevents the skin from breathing.
Yeah.
So I was still moisturizing when I stopped steroids.
Yes.
But I quickly heard about the fact that the moisturizing was actually keeping the inflammation going.
Yeah.
So then I stopped moisturizing my body, not my face, because that was too hard. And I actually noticed a real difference. I mean, of course, it was like dry as the desert, like for the first like few weeks and months, so dry. But at the same time, it was less red. So I felt that it was better then.
2 questions for you. Did your family understand why and what you were doing going through topical steroid withdrawal? And secondly, what were your worst symptoms?
So my family, actually when I first stopped steroids, I didn't know what was topical steroid withdrawal. I didn't know that I was actually gonna go through a withdrawal. I just thought, I have to quit this, and I didn't know what was happening. It's actually my sister who sent me this video of someone going through TSW, and she sent this to me. I think it was summer 2021, so it had already been like more than 6 months, and that's when I was like, oh my god, this is actually a thing. What I'm going through, it has a name.
Yeah.
I'm not like making it up, and I'm not going crazy. And so everybody has been supportive, but at the same time, they were not living with me, so it was like a support from far, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And symptoms.
Symptoms, so many, like body temperature dysregulation, so you get these crazy night sweats. I remember in the middle of winter it was 13 degrees in my bedroom, and I was sweating like if it was like 30, and I would have to open the window and like let the like freezing air go in. So either being super hot or super cold. Of course, the debilitating itch. It's like you can't do anything because the minute you step up, it itches the whole body. So I had to lay low and like stay in my bed and or the couch and do nothing, because just standing up, it was just like, yeah. I mean, you couldn't do one step, and like the back of my legs and everything was just like,
I know. I'm glad you're wearing pants because we're sitting on these
yeah,
potentially
not
very, very
irritant.
irritant-filled chairs.
Yeah,
So I apologize, but I think normally people will travel with like something to sit on,
definitely.
to be mindful. Anything else you want to say on symptoms, or
Yeah, I
okay?
think the other worst one was like very tight skin. I remember not being able to move my neck for more than 2 weeks.
You're welcome.
It was like it was the most pain, one of the most pain I've ever had. Yeah.
I know, I know. When I arrived, I could not extend my arms and I couldn't turn my neck because I had such severe hardened skin. So I know the feeling. Let me ask you about how you heard about CAP, cold atmospheric plasma.
So I heard it from, I think it was Laure. So she's one of the first French person who went to Thailand, and she did this amazing work of creating videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she posted, because we have a very good French community, French TSW Facebook group.
Yeah.
We're more than 3,000, if I'm not mistaken, on it.
That's a lot.
Or 2,000.
Yeah.
I mean, several thousand
Okay,
people at least.
Got it, yeah.
So yeah, she posted on this, and so I researched, and this happened at one point where I was at the low, one of my lowest, because my whole body had healed a lot, but I was still moisturizing my face, and my face was just like burning all the time, raw skin all over, and I was just desperate. It was just like one of the most pain I've ever had, and so I saw CAP as like my only hope. And so it was like kind of like the perfect timing, like hearing about this, being in this situation. Because for me, like Dupixent and every other like medication alternatives, it was not an option for me. I didn't want to switch from one drug to the other. I absolutely respect people who go that way, because for many it has helped them a lot. But for me, it was not an option.
What I didn't ask you about your steroid like potency usage or the amount of
I
steroids you
think I've
used.
used 5 kilos and used among the highest potencies.
Okay. And what does that mean to you? Like mentally, physically, emotionally? You've obviously grappled with it. You've come here, you've learned a lot.
Yeah.
What do you say to yourself? Okay, I've used 5 kgs of steroids at a high potency. What does that mean?
It's hard to like realize it, I guess, because the way that doctors prescribe it, it's like it's harmless, kind of. You don't realize you're using. I had no idea I was using that strong steroids. Yeah, and sometimes we've got some guilt as well of like applying all these things for so long and not realizing how harmful it was.
Yeah. So you come here. How long was it between you learning from Laura and then getting on the plane?
So I think I heard from Laure end of summer, so end of August or beginning of August, something like that. And my first treatment was December 1st here.
Okay.
So it was like a couple of months.
A reasonable turnaround. So you get here, you go to your first induction with the infamous J.
Yes.
What did you pick up from sort of that induction to now the time that you're leaving?
I guess I realized what like skin atrophy was. Like I really realized, okay, I'm having such sensitive skin because I'm actually missing like 20% layer of skin, and that's why everything is so like irritative, kind of, and that's why we have to be so careful. It's like good to have the like explanation behind it.
Right.
It makes it easier to like look for like irritants and stuff and accept, because having an irritant free lifestyle, I feel, is very like hard, because like you have to think about so many things, every little like chemical particle, like yeah, what you're wearing, what kind of clothes, what you're sitting on, everything. So I feel knowing the reason behind, and knowing also that you're gonna build up that skin over time again, it also gives you hope on how the healing process is gonna go about. Yeah.
So, what has your time here been like? How many treatments have you done before departure?
I've had, I think, 18 or 19 treatments.
Okay.
I've had a, I mean, definitely not as much hardened skin as you had, but I had a bit on my arms and my neck and hands. So a lot of the treatment for me was just like getting rid of the hardened skin. So I feel like I still have a lot skin to like build, because I'm only like the first stage of just like shedding all the hardened skin and then rebuilding the
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah. And when in your 18 treatments did you really start to see a big turnaround for yourself that you were sort of like, wow, this is working?
So the thing is that in order to do cap, you have to stop moisturizing. So whenever I applied, like for cap and got like J's approval, I had to stop moisturizing, and this made a huge difference on my face. So in the time lapse between I applied and when I arrived, my face has actually like healed a lot.
Yeah.
So when I arrived, I was already like doing much better. So I didn't have this like huge, like transformation kind of,
Yeah.
but it was like within the first even like 2 to 3 treatments, I saw results.
Okay.
I think the first thing I noticed was my eyes. I had very like wrinkly eyes. They were very like damaged, like all the eyelid,
Yeah.
and I could see like on pictures that it was just like improving very fast.
So, do you have any, before we talk about sort of your leaving tomorrow, your plans when you get home, do you have any comments, either in English or French, for people that are watching that are sort of like, okay, what can I do at home? I don't know how to get through this. Like, what, in a couple of, thoughts, what do you say to them? They maybe can't come for CAP because we're like this privileged group who are
Yes,
here,
absolutely.
who had to stop our lives, put everything on hold, made the choice, figured out the financial components. Like, it's not
Yeah.
it's not a small thing, and so I just wanted to ask you if you have any thoughts for them.
I think what you learn about CAP when you come here, it's like it's not a magical machine. Actually, like the actual treatment is only 50% of the like healing process. So the amazing news for people who can't do CAP is that they can do the other 50%, which is living an irritant-free lifestyle, stopping moisturizers, going sea and sun. So I think these 3 things are like keys to a good
Success.
healing, yeah, to success.
Let me ask you, did you have any issues with irritants while you were here where you had like a mega flare or something? And can you point people to what that was?
I didn't have like a massive flare, but I had definitely had some like small flares. It was always either like perfume from, for example, laundry detergent or laundry softener, because here they use very strong laundry softeners,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's just like it gets into like the duvet and the sheets, and even though you're like washing things like over and over, it never gets away.
I understand.
So definitely looking to chemicals, fragrances, mold as well. Sometimes you can't always see it, I would say that getting an air purifier, if you can afford it, is definitely like a game changer.
I talk about the air purifier a lot because
Yes,
it's really changed my
it's yeah.
healing. Yeah.
And you can get it secondhand.
That you must.
And you must
Yeah,
actually. It's
yeah.
much better to
Mm,
avoid like particles from new furniture.
mm,
So yeah, definitely look into all the laundry, the perfume. Oh, the soap actually.
mm.
So I know that here they recommend physiogel,
Yeah,
but it doesn't suit to, like everybody.
right.
For me, actually, I was using it and I discovered that it was creating me some allergies on my hands. Because
Ah,
when I
okay.
stopped using it, my hands got much better.
Ah, so you had some dyshydrosis.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So there's something in it that didn't
I
agree
think
with
it's the
you.
parabens.
So what do you use soap-wise?
I use soap that my uncle makes. Actually, it's organic and it's
Ah.
really like just a minimum ingredients required to
Well,
make
do
soap
you know
and
what the
nothing
ingredients
more.
are, if you recall?
Um, Not sure. I
It's
think
okay.
just like oil and really just like the chemical stuff to make soap.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like
Cool.
three ingredients really.
Cool. Okay. Um, last set of questions. You are going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
What is your plan when you get home to make sure you are creating the space that you need to feel safe?
So definitely, I mean, looking out for irritants again. So, well, buying the air purifier, I did. Just not using any chemicals to clean, only hot water, some like soap for like bathroom and stuff, and rinsing everything very well. Showering when you go home, like
Yeah.
the very basic stuff that you learn here.
Do you have any people in your world that you have to educate about this, that you've had to educate?
Well, family a little bit, but I think now they know.
Yeah.
Um, Friends as well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And
You're alone by yourself at home, so you can like manage
yes,
your
yes,
space.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, cool.
that's good at least.
Yeah.
I think my biggest challenge is gonna be when I try to get a job again. And I look for that, yes,
Yeah.
because managing a work environment with irritants is a whole new challenge.
What did you do before you came here?
So I majored in marketing and sustainability,
Mm,
but I didn't get to actually start a career because I started TSW in my last year of
yeah, it's
studies.
been like
Actually,
4 years
yeah,
almost for you.
my master's, yeah, doing my master's.
Wow.
So yeah, that's gonna be a bit complicated to figure out. But
You know what? If you can persevere through this, you can persevere through anything.
I think it's the big lesson you learn from TSW, right?
Yeah.
If you've been through this hell, then surely you can go through anything that is not as challenging.
You're gonna be fine, and
Thank you.
you have so much confidence and strength in your abilities, and you have a master's. It's all gonna be great. I wish you all the
Thank
very
you.
best,
Thank you
and
so much.
people will watch your journey. I'm sure you'll keep people apprised of how you're doing. I mean, I know that there's always this fear of regression when you get home, but
Definitely.
just managing your environment and doing all the things that you've learned, I think, and trying to get some maintenance treatments wherever you
As
can,
well, yeah.
topping that up. I think, you'll be okay. The weather doesn't help, but
I guess right now it's spring in France, so it's
you're
okay.
going home at a nice time. Yeah,
Yes, but
yeah.
it's high season for Poland,
Yeah.
so that sucks kind of.
Well, we'll be watching, and we wish you the very, very
Thank you
best.
so
Thank you
much.
for doing this with us. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.